And I love that shot near the end of the movie where you see him at the Fortress of Solitude, and he's saying, "I'm watching my parents." And he had always mentioned Bradley Cooper. You know, my pretty parents over here, I'm old country ass redneck parents. Not these old goddamn these mongoloids over here.
You chose a horrible picture. He does not even look like that in the movie.
Hey man, I just said some picture I can find. There's not too many pictures of Mom and Pop Ken out there. But
Scarecrow hat. Hey, Ken. Hey, Clark, supper ready. Hey, Clark, we serving possum again.
But at that shot of him when he says, I'm watching my parents, and it was them.
Yeah.
I was like, man, that's another James Gunn emotional moment.
Mm-hmm.
Hey everyone, just a few more days left until the Double Toasted 11th year anniversary party, July 18th to the 20th. That's a whole weekend full of live music, live shows, a movie screening, comedy, parties, a lot of parties, and more. Get your tickets by going to dtanniversary.eventbrite.com, dtmerch.com, or doubletoasted.com, and we'll see you soon. And join me in Chicago for a night of sit-down comedy live at the Lincoln Lodge, August 30th, 10 p.m. show. Tickets are selling pretty fast, so get your tickets now by going to doubletoastedchicago.com, and I'll see you there. All right, y'all, we're going to go ahead and get into this discussion about Superman. You know, we love the movie. We saw it last week. We all gave it some form of full price. That's our rating system that we have here. And, you know, we don't have too much criticism for it, but I did think it'd be fun to talk about the movie in a spoilery fashion and talk about, is there anything that they can do better? Is there any criticisms that we have here, as small as they may be, that we would like to see be improved next time? Also, is there anything that we'd like to see in the next movie that might be a part of the spoiler discussion that we couldn't discuss, you know, during the review because we'd give things away? And what did we like about this movie that they did different? Everybody has their version of Superman coming in. That's why you're not going to please everybody.
Right.
You know, and I'm not even trying to say somebody's right or wrong for it, because we saw this. Now, I didn't see your review, but we did talk about it briefly. And man, look, you get a lot of great Superman moments in here like that right there, where he's saving the little girl. You got a straight up Superman pose. That's what I said when we saw the trailer. That's what made me think that they were getting that character right. But also, I would say that this is probably the most human Superman that we have. You know, he's corny, but not in that Boy Scout do-gooder way.
Yeah.
You know, he's corny because he's a little, like, look at him, he's a little insecure. You know, he's going to get his ass beat a few times. He's going to have to call on his friends to help him out. But the biggest thing is that he wants to be human, and he's trying to get our approval instead of coming in and helping us.
Yeah.
He wants to, he's going to help us. But at the same time, he's like saying, please like me. But overall, because he wants us to like him, he wants us to love him, he just wants to be a good person. You know, I think this is mostly good. I think this makes him relatable. But, you know, there's been some complaints about that. And this is something that I think that we could probably jump into and talk about. And I think you might disagree to a certain level, but I did understand some people's not even complaints, just some people's slight criticisms of this. So, you know, they made him maybe a character that is receiving too much help. Maybe he's too invulnerable. You know, in the movie, he gets saved by the Justice Gang. He gets saved by Metamorpho, and Crypto saved his ass like about 2 or 3 times.
Right.
And so I've heard some people say, okay, so if you were to think about it, even at the beginning of the movie, we see Crypto come in to save Superman, who just got his ass beat. And if Crypto wasn't there, would Superman be dead? You know, who knows? So some people, and I'm not taking it this far. Some people who texted me, they said, I didn't like it because Superman's a bitch.
Okay. Wow, projecting much?
Yeah, they say he's a bitch. He didn't do anything. I get why Superman, I'm just going to put this out here. Y'all can come in with whatever your take is on this. I get why Superman was as vulnerable as he, or vulnerable as he was. You know, because this is early Superman.
Yeah.
He's still, trying to figure it out between his powers, what he wants to do to help people, his insecurities. And also in the movie, I think they're bringing in people to help him, because this movie, as I said in reviews, world building.
Yeah.
They're trying to set up the universe, and that could have gone completely wrong. We have seen it gone wrong.
Oh, yeah. Well, of course we have. The thing is, like, everybody's used to Superman, myself included, being invulnerable, super strong, the whole works, and confident about it, never really unsure of himself. And right off the bat, we see this Superman is not invulnerable. He needs people. He needs people to like him. And he needs his friends. But it's something, and I think James Gunn might have said this, like, if I made him invulnerable, then there wouldn't really be a need for everybody else. Yeah. But this is a movie where you go, like, once you adjust to the fact that, like, oh, he's not the Superman who never gets beat, then you go, like, once you like realize that and accept it, it's like, okay, new rules, let me get with that. But also, it's cooperative play. Like everybody has an important role. It's not just him in the universe who can solve everything, even though he's trying.
Yeah. And the physical vulnerabilities that they introduce with the character, it leads to some really interesting things to think about with the character. Like when Superman first goes off, they're like, hey, you're only at 80%. I like that, man, because it kind of feels like Superman didn't get a good night of sleep, but he's still got to go be Superman. Yeah. That's good shit.
Yeah, yeah. I like that he's, still trying to figure it out. I like that, he has all these powers, but he doesn't know to what extent his vulnerabilities are, his weaknesses are. He doesn't know the strength to the extent how strong he probably is. Mm-hmm. He's still early on. And I think that's a cool thing. And like I said, man, go back and look what they did the last universe or whatever you want to call it. I mean, they tried to rush things. They tried to throw it in too much. Justice League they got ahead of themselves on that. I mean, for them to set up as much storytelling in this one movie as they did, that could have gone, that could have gone completely wrong. Mm-hmm. That could have been overcrowded. It could have been confusing. I think the writing in the movie itself, the final product, actually balanced things very well.
It does. It's very balanced, and it leaves it open for more stuff. It's not like the big, but he has to die at the end.
Yeah. Now, later on, is that something I think they can improve on? Yeah. I don't even know if you could say improve, but do I want to see him be a little stronger as he gets more confident? Yeah, I don't think we can keep with this Superman right here. I don't think that, we can have a Superman who's still, getting his ass beat and having to be saved by his dog every 5 minutes. That's not going to work all the time. I even think that, we probably have to be careful about how much he wants to save squirrels and everything like that. And that's just because that just gets a little too comical sometimes. But, I don't know. I don't want him to lose. People walked out of this movie saying, this just made me want to be a better person. Mm-hmm. It made me feel like there are good people out there. I think that the majority of people saying that about the Superman proves that it works. So as long as they can keep that spirit with him and keep him feeling, I think it's a good thing that he is feeling a little bit more human. Like I said, even as Clark Kent, he's goofy.
Yeah, yeah.
And then when he's Superman, he's still just too perfect. Mm-hmm. He's too good. Mm-hmm. He's giving people PSAs every time he sees them in statistics and stuff. Don't be afraid to fly. Statistically, it's still the safest way to travel. You're like, let's just go somewhere. All right, you saved me.
Hey, man, you just saved your life.
Yeah, I want to hear that shit. All right, I got it. I'll even top down too. All right, just save my life.
All right, I'll leave it up to Homelander to save you next time.
No, you won't. You'll be back because that's your job. In fact, I'm gonna put myself in danger. See what happens. But no. I think I like that this Superman says, "Dude."
Oh yeah.
I like that he seems like a guy in his 30s.
I like that when he was really hurt, he went back home to the farm and just chilled for a couple of days.
Yeah, he took the day. He had a couple of days off. Yeah, Superman needs a vacation.
Yeah, because they were begging him. They're like, you need to just take like 24 hours. Mm-hmm. Like, you're getting up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I like that too. When I saw the trailer, I was hoping that that's what he was going to do. He was going to go home and just chill out at the farm. Hang out with old country ass mom. Yeah, and I actually thought that those were some really good scenes too.
And you can't say he had a weak villain.
No. Yeah, look at that. Like that. I thought this was cool. As country as Ma and Pa were, they were. I love that they showed him as being loving parents, and that's. I mean, they had a real cool thing with his parents that happened later on in the movie that I'll get to in a little while. I talked about how I think, man, right now, being that we're coming out of that dark era of DCEU. When I say dark, I'm talking about everything was heavy. Yeah. Everything looked dark.
Yeah.
Everybody had to be Batman at some point. You know,
it also was misconstruing like what Superman was, you know? Like they said this in the Red Letter Media review. I thought it was brilliant. They're like, he was meant to be like a Moses character, not Jesus. And that's what the Snyder movies did.
Oh, yeah.
And it totally changes the character.
No, that is true. They didn't get Superman. Superman is not supposed to have, you're not supposed to be as emo and carrying as much weight on his shoulders like Batman does. He's supposed to be the opposite of Batman.
Yeah, because a Superman like that, I would be terrified of.
Yeah.
Especially when he's walking around looking confused and sad. It's like, can we put this guy in a cage? Like, what the f are you gonna do next?
Yeah.
No, this is this character is great, and I think that a lot of humor helped with that. I like that he was a 30-year-old dude who was down to earth, kind of goofy sometimes, but also kind of a dude, you know. But it's, so the comedy that went with this version of Superman worked. And like I said, it's James Gunn's comedy, and a lot of James Gunn's sensibilities were all over this, his writing style, his humor and everything. I think that's why I said, I think that maybe if they do another Superman movie, either he needs to pull back on some of those trademarks that he has in a lot of things, or maybe give somebody who knows James Gunn and gets his kind of sense of humor and can bring that sensibility to Superman. Because I think we see some things that James Gunn is starting to repeat now. I think we see them in different projects, but they are repeating across those projects. The needle drops, like you said.
Yeah.
Whenever they're about to fight or get into a fight, a song has to play. I'll give you just an example right here. Like we've seen that with
Guardians.
Guardians, yeah, especially with Guardians. We've seen it starting out with this, where we had the Monster Squad. What were they?
Suicide Squad. No. Creature Commandos.
Creature Commandos, but also Suicide Squad. They did it. The Suicide Squad. That's the Pixies, right?
Is it? I don't really know that song that well.
Yeah, I think that's I think. Don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of music that he likes to put into his movies, and I think he likes to put a lot of humor that undercuts a lot of things now. Like he's even making fun of himself now on Rick and Morty.
Yeah. Did you watch that episode?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I think, I don't know, how do y'all feel about that? I think undercutting everything with humor is starting to be very noticeable, especially when it started in Guardians, and now we're seeing it here. And I don't know if we can keep that up as much.
It's that thing where he has definitely laid down his signature, stuff he does. But you would like to see him pull back, do something somewhat different. So it's not so much, it's all the James Gunn show, the Gunn show. But and it's not like he's not able to do that, because you look at so many elements like the beginning and so many parts of Guardians of the Galaxy 3 where it got very serious and sad. And even Creature Commandos, you watch that long enough and they start doing backstories, and every one of those characters has a tragic backstory. Like every backstory got more tragic as it went along.
No, he knows how to. I'm not even trying to talk about his writing. I'm not even criticizing, because one thing he knows how to do that's been missing from a lot of writing in what they did with DC last time is emotion. He writes incredible emotion.
Yeah, because even this movie had some very emotional stuff.
Yeah, it did. No, it did.
I think that the music, when he does these needle drops, I think that the excuse of it being diegetic can help. And like that opening scene in like the first Guardians where they introduce Star-Lord, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But like the scene with Mr. Terrific, it was so on the nose. It felt aggressive, like just having a song going fun, fun, fun. And I get they were listening to it at the place, but I was like, could have done without that. However, the punk rocker song being like the theme, hearing that song and seeing the Superman logo on screen, that was Sick.
No, it's cool.
I can't deny it.
And I got to tell you that Mr. Terrific scene actually was pretty good.
It was.
I was saying, here we go with another, pop song playing in it, rock song, but it was a cool scene.
It was.
If y'all remember, this is one where he attacked Lex Luthor's camp and had the dimensional portal, and he beat everybody's ass with some damn...
With his T-spheres.
Yeah.
With a collection of those Luke Skywalker training orbs, right?
I'm glad you said that. I'm going to say terrific balls.
That works too.
Which is what they are. It's terrific balls.
It's his T-balls.
It's coming to a candy store near you. Mr. Terrific's terrific balls.
Yeah, man. I think that the movie did some really cool twists in it, man. There were some things he did different with the lore. And I'm still wondering, I'd like to get your opinions on what you think about this. Mm-hmm. Because I think that we can still debate on what really happened. And I'm talking about the twist with his parents. Every time we've seen his Jor-El and his wife, send Superman down, what's happened with that is that they always said, go down. Be a protector for these people, help them. They're not as advanced as we are, so they need you. And that was a cool cameo by Bradley Cooper.
I did not know that was him until the next day when I read it.
Yeah, that was Bradley Cooper and Angela Seraphan, I think is her name, Angela Seraphan, which some people thought that was Lady Gaga.
Oh.
That would have been crazy.
I was like, oh, that's the chick from Westworld.
Yeah. Well, some people, because they knew that was Bradley Cooper, they thought it was Lady. Yeah, they thought it was a little Easter egg, and they thought it was Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper together again for the first time.
They're not putting Lady Gaga in another DC movie. Ever. Even James Gunn's be like, I'm sorry. No.
A chance for redemption.
You're cursed. But so that was Bradley Cooper sort of making this really cool cameo, because it wasn't just, oh, look, it's Bradley Cooper. It's his parents. And then I thought they would leave it at that. But then they play the whole thing where one thing I liked, he's speaking Kryptonian.
Yeah.
So he's speaking another language. Mm-hmm. But then you find out later, of course, if you've seen the movie, that Clark only got half the message. He got the good part saying, go down and help them. The part that he did not get because it was corrupted, and whoop their asses, go down there and take over. Go down there and rule.
Yeah.
Yeah. They fight you, kill them. It's I thought at first that was something where Lex Luthor changed it.
Yeah. But they kept saying over and over, like, it didn't change. It's been verified. Even Mr. Terrific was like, sorry, bro.
Yeah. So it could come back later that, it was corrupted. But for this particular movie, I'm happy that they stuck through it the whole time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Because you're so used to that being like, oh, he did something. And you're like, no. But he did. And everybody's like, I wish.
Like you said, it was like Training Day. Nah, Denzel ain't evil. Man, Clark's parents ain't pieces of shit. Oh, shit. Okay. Credits rolling.
But Superman,
that's why I waited for the stinger. I was like, nah, they're gonna come back and say something nice. They're good people.
Yeah, Superman, though, is a 100-year-old character, though. So there are versions of him where his Kryptonian parents probably sucked. And that's an interesting angle.
Well, like the whole thing when Guy Gardner came in, and this is one of my favorite scenes in the movie, man.
Embarrassing Superman without him even being there.
What part was it? It was
when he meets Lois Lane, right?
Yeah, when he meets Lois Lane for the first time. And he's talking about something that is considered to be, let me see here, something that's actually canon. Because I read about this. It's actually in the comics, the hypno glasses.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying who he is, just that he wears hypno glasses. They make his face terrific. How do they work? They make his face look different in your brain when he wears them so that you don't know who he is.
Yes.
I love that. That's why he's one of my favorite characters, man. That's actually canon in the comics. So,
but one thing about, this turn with his parents that's important is that it later comes in, because when he goes back to the farm with the Kents, it's like up until that point, they were his adoptive parents. You're like, well, they kind of raised me, but these are my parents. And after this, and you see it, and it's emotional. He really, in his heart, realizes that the Kents are his parents' parents.
That's why that whole thing with the message, it actually even makes him more of a better person. Because when you see that, he's disturbed. Like, man, that's what it says is that's his true nature.
Yeah.
His true nature is to be kind. His true nature is what his parents taught him, his adopted parents. And I love that shot near the end of the movie where you see him at the Fortress of Solitude and he's saying, I'm watching my parents. And he had always mentioned Bradley Cooper. You know, my pretty parents over here, I'm old country ass redneck parents. Not these old goddamn these mongoloids over here.
You chose a horrible picture. He does not even look like that in the movie.
Hey man, I just said some picture I can find. There's not too many pictures of Mom and Pa Kent out there. But
Scarecrow hat. Hey, kid. Hey, Clark, something ready? Don't forget to bring me some hay I put in between my teeth. Hey, Jethro.
Hey, Clark, we serving possum again. But at that shot of him when he says, I'm watching my parents, and it was them.
Yeah.
I was like, man, that's another James Gunn emotional moment. And I like that. And that message it's more than just a twist. It just shows like, man, Clark is a really good person no matter what. At his core. You know, I love the way it disturbed him. It's like, man, look, you're good. Just ignore it. No, man. They told me they told me I'm evil.
And it was another good moment where everyone, like all the people in the world started to go against Superman. He's like, no, you don't get it. I feel exactly the same way you do hearing this.
Yeah.
That was really good writing.
Yeah. No, I think, you know, that just, because I was like, man, these people too country with me to feel anything. But when that moment happened where he was watching them, I was like, oh, you love these little country ass, these old yokels.
Talking down to them?
Yeah, because, come on, man. At least they were good people, though. That scene between him and his dad is great.
Yeah, I really like that part.
There's some theories. I'm not subscribing to this one, but, you know, I like that people are just talking. So you had that cameo by Supergirl at the end, Kara, and she's drunk. And a lot of people are saying, man, you know, maybe she's an alcoholic because she couldn't take the news of her parents or Clark's parents and maybe her parents being assholes and being the same way, or she found out the real message behind it. I was like, come on, man.
They say in the movie she was off planet, going to a planet a solar system with a red sun because that's the only way she could get drunk. And she likes to do that. Now, she's just more of a party girl.
Yeah. They're trying to say that she saw the message of Clark's parents and it disturbed her so much that she just gets drunk all the time. I'm like, no, she's just an alcoholic or she's a party girl.
Yeah.
And also, why would she see it before Clark?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, she can't even control that damn dog.
That was one of my favorite parts of the movie. She's laughing. That dog is her up.
I love that, man. You know why? Because it explains why Crypto is such an asshole.
Yeah, because the whole time you're like, dude, discipline your dog. You got to train this dog.
Matter of fact, how the this dog get here?
Yeah, I'm saying, because at the end, I was like, man, take that dog away from her. That dog obviously loves you more than her. Because that last shot ain't with her. It's with him. They're all buddy at the end. I was like, yeah, she's drunk. She's like a chick who parties all the time and can't control her animal, can't train them right. I thought that was actually pretty cool.
This is how you started the show talking about that.
What?
About people not training their dogs.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
That's your sister.
Supergirl is the person I'm talking about. My sister and Supergirl are some of the same people, except Crypto saves people. Her dogs kill people. How'd you feel about her being a drunk or being a party girl?
Oh, I love that. It's so different than how we see her, but there's just little clues that like the idea that like, oh yeah, she very casually, she likes to go to planets with red suns so she can get drunk. And he says it like, this is a thing she does. And even Clark talks to there's a dimensional imp flying around and not a big deal about it. And just other things like that kaiju. He's not even like, where'd this come from? He's just like, okay, one of these is here. Clearly he's dealt with it before. Hey, let's take it down and without killing it.
I love that, man.
But Guy Gardner and Mr. Terrific have different ideas.
I love that. Because I thought that they were really going to go through with it. Because if you remember the movie again, I like that we're world building. So I think it was important. As sad as I kind of thought it was, I'm like, oh, I kind of feel bad for Clark because I'm kind of the same way as him. I was like, I want to save this thing. I don't want to really kill it. But, you know, when they came in and blew his ass up, you know, I forgot what they did. So they put something in his stomach and killed him.
He swallowed something.
Yeah,
right?
Mr. Terrific gave him really bad antacid pills or something.
Yeah, and he just like fell down.
Yeah, and I like the way, you know, Clark is just kind of like, oh man, why'd y'all do that? And everybody's like, man, do you want to say this or something? I save people. You know, you always talking about you want to help people. God damn it. No, come on, we can't save everything. And I like that because it shows how he's in contrast to these different heroes out there. And it just goes to show how good he is.
Yeah.
Even he wants to save something that's, you know, a 100-foot tall kaiju.
I was pretty surprised with how that scene played out because I see, like, they're marketing this movie so much. I've been seeing ads for the toys, and they have a toy of that kaiju. And the way it looks is its chest is open and there's like slime that comes out. I was like, okay, they're going to blow it up. And not seeing them not do that in the movie, I was like, thank God the toys aren't spoiling shit anymore.
Yeah, because toys will do that.
Oh, yeah.
That was big in the 90s.
Well, I love
toys don't give
I love how they just said Superman, because everybody either respects or fears Superman. I like hearing people kind of tired of him. Like Mr. Terrific, when he says, come on, man, let's save him. He's like, man, God damn it. Oh, come on.
Oh, this guy again.
Jesus, Clark, God damn it, man. No, but with Kara, I like that Kara came in and she was drunk, man. I think because that's going to make an interesting film. Like she's going to have to grow up probably.
Yeah.
You know, she's going to start out as a flawed character too.
So here's a question for you. I was talking to Martin about it. Do you think we could get an R-rated Supergirl movie?
No.
Okay.
I mean, what did you think?
No, I don't think R-rated.
Why you want all these R-rated characters?
Well, it's just that I feel like that's like a really mature thing for like, you know, a superhero struggling with alcoholism, especially if you want to portray it in a way that it's fun.
They are not going to spend, you know, big budgets like this on an R-rated movie, especially when they don't have to.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, a lot of people who'll be upset if that's an R-rated movie.
Now with DC, I think you could possibly see her in an R-rated property,
like a TV show or something.
Yeah, she could show up in Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and get drunk with him.
Yeah, or some other thing that might be R-rated where, you know, she's drunk and you know, saying fuck or something. I don't know, you know. Yeah, she could probably show up in something else, but not. I don't think they'll make her movie R-rated. No, not at all.
I mean, PG-13 has gotten so loose these days.
Hey everyone, excuse me, but we have to give a quick word out to our sponsor right now, which is Shopify. And I'm just going to get to the point. You're a talented person. You got a skill. You can be your own entrepreneur by starting your own business online. I wonder how you could do that. You know what I'm about to say, Shopify. Why? Because Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world. Getting started is easy. Shopify helps you build a beautiful online store to match your brand style with hundreds of ready-to-use templates, no coding skill required. And best yet, Shopify has world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns and beyond. Not that you're going to be returning a lot of stuff because people don't love what you do anyway. But here's something you're really going to love right here, and that is this code, shopify.com/toasted, all lowercase. You put that in, you'll get a $1 per month trial period. I want to thank Shopify for sponsoring this portion of the show, and I want to thank all of you out there for your support. And now back to the video. I think that there's a lot happening in the movie. I think that's good for this particular movie. I would like to see a leaner Superman movie down the line. I agree with
something more focused.
Yeah, man, with this movie, I'm fine with it. I don't even mind seeing cameos from other characters.
Sure.
But I think, we need to kind of slim it down now just a little bit.
Something more focused, different villain.
Yeah.
You know, we could go with Brainiac, and Superman actually has a huge rogues gallery. Yeah.
No, there's a lot of stuff they could do. I think, again, you know, bringing it down a little bit, slimming it down, making it more trim at this point would work.
There's more stuff in space.
Yeah, what's that? Do more stuff in space? That'd be cool. Man, one of the things with this James Gunn universe that he's setting up, you know, it's not like Marvel. It's not our world.
Right.
So we can go even crazier with it. And the movie opens up saying that we've already had 300 years of metahumans. So this world is outrageous. And I think that they can really go wild with this in ways that I would even look at Marvel and be like, all right, stop. Come on now. But I think
up until this movie, the trend has always been like the goal with every one of the movies has been like, we got to make this as realistic as possible. We're trying to bring the comic book world to the real world so we can bring over the people who don't read comics into this and, you know, integrate everybody. And this was the first movie to go like, we ain't doing that.
No, I love that's one of the things I loved about setting it up with with things like the Justice Gang. You know, they're going to be the Justice League at some point.
Yeah, because they're staying in the Hall of Justice.
Yeah, I love that, man. Yeah, I love that they brought in the Hall of Justice
under construction too, right?
As a cameo in a way. As a throwback to the Hall of Justice. I used to grow up with the cartoon.
Back at the Hall of Justice.
Yeah.
There's a lot of throwbacks to like old TV stuff in this. Like there's stuff from the CW, like coffee shops that were in Peacemaker also.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I think that, you know, this world can be even more outrageous since they set up their own universe, their own fictional cities. That, you know, Metropolis is New York. You know, Gotham is what's supposed to be Chicago or something. You know, so but they, you know, they've set up that they can just do a lot of more wild stuff than I think they could even get away with before.
And it's a way of not competing head to head with Marvel, where you're going to keep making comparisons. It's like, all right, well, this is definitely its own thing.
Yeah, Marvel grounded is not the right word, but it's the only word I can think of. Since you're set in the real world, you know, we kind of have to like have at least a toe in there. This one can just do whatever it wants to do. And I love that. What I really like about this is that they didn't go crazy with cameos. And when they did, either they were something that set up another story in a great way without having to push too hard. Like, you know, she came in, she was drunk. They didn't have to say, you know, Supergirl will be back. You know, like, you know her drunk ass going to be back. You know, and we need to have that told to us. We need to... It felt like a part of the story instead of a setup.
Definitely.
I love Peacemaker's cameo.
Oh yeah,
it felt natural. He's of course because they brought him in. Of course he'd be talking shit about Superman. He's just jealous because his guns aren't as big as mine.
Yeah, remember what he was saying about Superman on his show? Yeah, Superman's got a scat fetish. Like,
what?
Yeah, you can look up the clip on YouTube. Where
is that where hashtag shit Superman came from?
Super shit.
Super shit. Is that where super shit came from?
I thought it came from those monkeys.
Okay.
Yeah, those Snyder Bros that are now canon.
Yeah,
I love that.
You know, it'd be fun if that one meme super shit did come from him,
right?
But I love that cameo in there, man. Everything feels natural. Everything's falling together and it's just falling into place.
Even Rick Flagg's character, like just so naturally worked in there. It didn't feel like, oh, there he is. It's just like he's in this room because that makes sense.
And
Rick Flag Sr. Yeah.
And as fun and comic book movie as this is, it was not at all afraid to get political, like none of these movies ever do. Yeah, I mean, the Dark Knight is probably the only other thing that did.
I mean, to go into the the war in the Middle East. Yeah, you know, I mean that's bold, especially right now.
Especially right now, yeah.
Yeah, but no, they did.
But it's funny they would do that, and yet all anybody's talking about is the immigration stuff. I'm like, wow, you really gonna miss all this here? That's just right in your face.
I thought, because I mean, look at that. That is, they begging for you to say something, and they actually confused. Like, what? We gave it to you, Fox News. Y'all on this immigration shit. Yeah, super woke.
And I really like the actor that they got for the leader of that country. It's the rich guy from, you haven't seen it, but from Triangle of Sadness.
Oh, that's
where I know him from.
Yeah, he's the manure salesman.
Okay, yeah.
I sell shit.
Yeah.
Somebody said you're not wrong. Supergirl's story will be dark and focus on a murderous quest for revenge, according to the synopsis. She was alive on Krypton when her family was slaughtered. It was previously rumored to be R-rated.
There you go. And I heard they just changed the title, too. Because like all these superhero movies, they give them like Superman the First Step or like Supergirl being a woman or something.
If it was on Max, I would say yeah. Released in the theater, I'm still gonna say no. Not with an offshoot of Superman.
We'll see.
But you know, listen, the
playing field is changing. Man.
That's true. Taking bold steps.
Wolverine is huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I could see her movie being angled as a comedy as well.
And they are having our radar characters cross over more with some of the mainstream characters. You know, Punisher's going to be in the next Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, and who knows what the success of this is going to be like. What if that Green Lantern show is way bigger than they expect it to be?
Yeah. So what do you want to see coming up? What do you want to see Superman go against? What do you want to see in the next Superman movie?
Martin has definitely a better answer than me. I don't have anything.
Well, when it comes to his villains, if you know, the tier goes Lex Luthor, Brainiac, General Zod.
Mhm.
And then there's so many others, some like some new characters they put together. But it always, most of the stories revolve around those three.
I want to see Lobo come in at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is he
you
a
know,
Superman villain?
I don't.
I
I
mean,
mean, he's not really.
yeah.
He's not really a villain all the time. Though.
No,
He's kind
he's more of an
anti-hero.
anti-hero. Yeah.
Isn't he supposed to show up in the Supergirl movie?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think because he's going to be played by Jason Momoa.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah,
They're way better than Aquaman.
that's what when he got cast
Cast
as
as Aquaman, I was like, what are you doing? Okay.
don't worry about it. Bizarro.
Yeah, Bizarro.
That's what
another
I
one.
really want to see because I think that they were setting that up.
Setting it up with
Ultraman.
Ultraman, yeah.
Because like there's shots of Ultraman being a wall-eyed Superman. I was ready for him to say me Bizarro.
Honestly, when he took the mask off, I expected him to be
Bizarro,
Bizarro.
yeah. But I like the way they set it up because, Ultraman ended up being the clone of Superman, and he's an actual character. So when he's knocked off, he didn't die.
Mm.
So he'll probably come back as some sort of Bizarro version.
Oh,
of-
and Darkseid. What was I thinking?
yeah, that's going to have to be like, there's a 10-year plan.
Mhm.
I think Darkseid's going to be.
Oh, yeah. No, he's like Thanos.
Yeah.
Like you build up to that.
Yeah.
This sounds stupid, but hear me out. I would kind of like to see him take another stab at Batman versus Superman in a way, but introduce your Batman as a very mysterious villain. Like, show us from the perspective of Superman and give us little bits about Batman, and then have them, do their thing where he's chasing down Batman, and then eventually reveal the character.
Well, what'll be interesting is they got the Hall of Justice. So having Batman interacting with all of them, it'll be, some twisted version of the Super Friends.
Again, don't take it as we are talking about the movie in any kind of bad way. We're not nitpicking on the movie. We're not trying to wish for our own movie. I think it's a really fun film. I'm with those people where I walked out and I was like, man, this makes me feel hopeful for some reason. I don't know why.
At a time when we most need it.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
It's just a delightful movie that makes you feel good on your way out. It is the definition of a blockbuster film. That's what I really like about it.
It's humanist.
Yeah, it's very
Humanist, yeah.
humanist. And I can't wait to see who Lex Luthor's going to work with next, because his bald head hair is going to be back. So.
You think we'll get him in a mech suit or something?
Yeah, I think there's a possible.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's
And the purple and green.
in the purple and green, because it's like those soldiers, the mech soldiers. At
Oh
the camp.
yeah, you see that guy?
They were purple, very dark purple, and very dark green, but they were purple and green.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think he's gonna come back and be like, no, I'm not gonna get fucked up by Superman, that damn dog again. I'm gonna come back with my own suit. It's gonna make me as powerful as he is. So yeah,
I'm so glad we got this movie. I love like that scene where he's listing off the movie. A1.
Man,
Some
that
people
was-
were complaining about that. I was like, you're
They
missing
were
it.
complaining?
Oh yeah, there were critics who complained about
What
that.
was their complaint?
They didn't like that. They thought it was silly.
What?
That was
that's
what-
that's what made him so menacing.
yeah,
I agree.
that's what actually made you scared for Superman, because Lex Luthor knew he was always 10 steps ahead of him with that suit. He'd always predict his moves or with his system. Yeah, I thought that was a very clever idea.
Yeah.
And it's edited very well.
I thought it was interesting to call back that one of his guys, one of his henchmen, was named Otis, because Otis was Ned Beatty
but
in
Superman.
Superman the movie.
Yeah.
Ah.
Which character was it?
The black one.
Of course it was a black one.
But he wasn't goofy.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't, but yeah, big old black dude named Otis. That sounds about right. All right, y'all. That's it. Well, would you look at that? You made it to the end of the video. That means you really like us. So just go ahead and press that like button and subscribe while you're at it. And check out our other channels, our social media like Instagram, TikTok, and our Patreon, where we have new stuff coming up all the time. And we'll see you on the next video.